took. See my kicks when I see y'all walk. Flex on me, y'all ain't strong. Say my name, that's Sam Law. Still on top, yeah, it's been that long. They won't know till I say I'm gone. They won't know, say my name. Hey everyone, welcome to the That Sam Law Show. And of course, I'm your host. If you don't know by now, we're in season 2. Come on now. I'm Sam Law. So today we have a very special guest. His name is James Michaels. He's the owner of Floatopia. It's an amazing spa in Huntington, New York. And he is also, an emerging comedian. So we're going to talk about both of those worlds that he's into. But first, before we introduce you to James Michaels, just want to shout out our season sponsor. Hey everyone, it's Sam Law of the That Sam Law Show. And I just want to welcome a very special person, our sponsor, John Bell of the Bell Law Group. John Bell, tell us about the Bell Law Group.
So we're a law firm in Syosset, Long Island, and we focus on employment law and personal injury law. The reason we focus on that is basically to fight for people in need. That's the reason why I became a lawyer, and that has been the mission of the Bell Law Group since I started it 20 years ago. Started out as a law office of Jonathan Bell, but then when it became more than just me, we decided to change the name, change the logo and branding of the Bell Law Group, and we've been out there ever since.
Great. So John Bell, if anyone needs your services, how can they reach you?
855-JOHN-BELL, JONBELL, or on our website, belllg.com.
Thank you. So James, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I own Floatopia. And thank you for having me, by the way. This is a lot bigger of a deal than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, thank you. I love Floatopia.
This is,
you know that. I come, I make sure, once I came the first time, I haven't stopped.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming out. And every time you come out, I get more people to come out.
Oh,
and
nice.
That's always fun. But it's, I don't know. You asked me the questions. So I don't know who I am. I do so many different things. I do comedy, like you said. That's just kind of like a therapy for me. I produce shows locally around Long Island, so that's kind of another thing I do. I do a podcast.
Nice.
But
at Floatopia, right?
At Floatopia in the Salt Cave, the Cave Cast.
I like the Salt Cave. I go there to just kind of unwind and clear my head, and then I go for the deep dive in the flotation tank.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Oof.
Sensory deprivation or flotation therapy it's called. You know what it is. You want me to explain it?
We're going to get into it.
Okay.
We are going to get into it. So we're going to just, since you brought it up, what is Floatopia? Give us the rundown.
Well, Floatopia basically is built around the concept of flotation therapy. So we have 4 flotation therapy rooms. Each room is built or equipped with a big pool, I would say. It's about 9 feet long, 6 feet wide. There's 10 inches of water in each pool, and there's 1,200 pounds of Epsom salt in each one. So that's what makes it really dense and allowing you to float on top of it.
Nice. So what are some other experiences you can get at Floatopia?
We have an infrared sauna. We have 2 of them, actually. We have a salt cave that we do the podcast in, but the salt cave is a great way to relax and loosen up any congestion or just kind of take a nap.
Facts. Floatopia is literally where I go to all right, I'm going to use a Fortnite term. It's where I go to respawn. I feel like I'm out in the world, I'm getting knocked around, I'm getting knocked down. As my son would say, probably getting a headshot, which means I died in Fortnite. But I go to Floatopia to kind of respawn and build up my strength and deal with any pain. I work out. I had a traumatic experience in a car accident. So that's kind of where I go to continue my therapeutic experience. When you told me about it, actually, you didn't tell me about it. Your cousin Alana, who I'm really good friends with, she told me about it years ago, back in 2016. She's 2017, right?
Yeah.
Is that when you started?
So about 17, yeah.
Yeah, she was you gotta go to Floatopia, you gotta go to Floatopia. And then in 2020, I got to go, and I have never looked back, and it's an important part of my wellness and self-care.
Yeah, it's a great way to relieve any kind of pain. We have athletes that come in to just recover from like muscle, tension and straining their muscles. But there's so many reasons why people use it. We have comedians and authors use it for boosting creativity. But for you, like you said, it's helping you with like pain and just the PTSD, I would call it, from the accident.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, when you talk about boosting like creative experience, I actually went there with my boyfriend, and we came out. We went to eat like down the road at what's the name of that restaurant? Mama Juana's. And all of a sudden I was like, hey babe, how do you say life is good in Creole? And he was like, oh, it's like la vie bon. And then I had like this amazing idea for it, like a clothing line, like a song, like this is the culture, like we've have like a good life. And man, has that expanded for like his brand. So like it definitely like brings out the creative side of you. It also is, I feel like it's a moment to like connect with like your inner self. Like you get time that you don't get I just feel like you don't get it anywhere else in your life.
Yeah, well, it's nowhere. It's nothing like I could explain or I could compare it to. You're basically in that water, and it's so dense from all the Epsom salt in it that you just float there. You don't have to know how to float or swim or anything like that. The water is also heated to the same temperature as your skin, so you kind of lose the feeling of the water in a way. It's almost like it's not there. And if you turn off the light, the rooms are light-proofed and soundproof, so while you're not in there not really feeling the water, you're not seeing or hearing anything either. So you kind of feel like you're floating in the upside down, in outer space in a way.
No, it does. It does feel like that. I feel like I'm like probably like nuts. I go in there and like you can change it to like different color lights, but I turn off the lights completely. I'm like, I don't want any lights. I don't want anything.
Yeah, you
and
can
I
leave
just
the lights
mellow
on.
out. I do like 90 minutes every time I go.
Yeah. For some people it's 60, some people it's 90, or somewhere in the middle. But you never really know how long it's going to be until you actually go in there and do it.
Oh, it's a great experience. How did you, like, what influenced you to even open up this type of business?
Oh man, it's a long story, a short story. Like I'll give
us the medium story.
Yeah, the medium story. So my wife got sick back in like 15, 16 with Lyme disease. I don't know if you ever experienced that or heard about that, but it's basically like a debilitating disease, I would call it. So during that time, she had a lot of pain, she had trouble walking. So somebody told me about floating and like, it being, nothing about the pain relief from it, just like a cool thing, So I went and tried it by myself, and then I realized like there's something more to this, This is more than just some kind of like weirdo hippie thing to do. Like this is, I felt really good from it. So the next time I went, I brought her with me. And she floated, and after her float, she was she felt a lot better, So like a lot of her pain, like if her pain was an 8, it was at a 4 after that.
Wow.
So then like I started to realize this is like a real thing. This is really helping people. So, we were gonna move. She got she had to stop working. I was working 2-3 jobs.
Wow.
And it just got to be a lot. So we sold the house, and so we had some money from selling the house. And in the meantime, my boss at the time was selling his businesses. And so everything was kind of like leading towards leaving New York.
Wow.
So I was just talking to my boss at the time about like, this experience that I had. And I was like, maybe there's room for more places like this. Would you be interested in putting up some money? And I put up some money, and we, build one of these and see what happens. And that's kind of like the short version of the story. So
wow.
My boss at the time, who was actually a mentor to me, like I've known him since I was 15. He was my first boss, actually.
Wow.
But yeah, he bought into it, and here we are.
That's powerful. Listen, it's definitely, it's so many health experiences. You have like the salt cave, and like you said, that clears congestion in your respiratory. And these are like things that are like backed by science. Like you can look up, you can find articles, you can find peer-reviewed articles about these therapeutic procedures the Epsom salt. People always say, "Oh, you're in pain. Soak yourself in some Epsom salt." But this is like, nobody's putting this much Epsom salt in their bathtub. If you have a landlord, they probably will kill you or kick you out. And then I just recently got into this like this week, and I wish I was just telling my boyfriend like, I wish that I had done like the infrared therapy. I had gone in the infrared sauna, so I just started doing infrared therapy to help with like back pain and stuff, and boy, it helps a lot. So now I'm like, all right, I'm doing all 3 experiences every time I go.
Yeah.
Every time I go to Floatopia.
Yeah,
now.
the sauna is great. Like any time I get to go in a sauna, whether it's at the gym or whether it's at Floatopia, it's like one of the best life hacks ever invented, I feel.
Right. Yeah, it clears. You clear all types of stuff out. You sweat some things out, and then you feel like you're looser. Like your body's looser. I don't even think I had a public speaking engagement. Honestly, I don't think I would have been able to get through it without the infrared therapy.
Yeah, no, it helps you clear your mind. And the salt caves, like you said, has been around for hundreds of years.
Right.
Like people have been doing that in Europe, and they prescribe it actually. You kind of go into a salt cave hotel.
Right, exactly. I know. All right, I'm going to nerd out for a second and talk about Avengers. So I know that Daredevil, when he was dealing with being blind, like he actually did sensory deprivation. Like that's what helped him like really hone in he actually uses his ears to see. Like he has like supersonic hearing or whatever. So like that was one of the things. So that was like the first time I heard about it. I was like, is this real? And then I saw like athletes, and I had been looking into it for years, but I didn't know where to go. And then I met you, and I was like, oh, I'm going. I'm going to try it. And I'm a lifer. That's it. Do you feel like over the years there's been a shift to focus more on health and wellness than maybe in previous years?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, with the pandemic that happened, I think that like it's definitely been a major eye-opener for people during that. I mean, people were dying just because they were just doing normal things like going to the supermarket and getting sick and you know. So it really was I guess, you know, an eye-opener for being healthy, you know, just doing more things for yourself, you know. But it's the convenience of like the bad foods that are available readily, you know, it's the fast food places all over the place and sedentary lifestyles, and you know, it's all that stuff that kind of plays a role in it. But yeah, once you take a step back and you float or you do the sauna or something like that, it kind of makes you like look at yourself in a way, like, oh, I should do this more often.
Right. I feel like it activates like your wellness muscles. Like you start to think about like, man, what am I doing to my body? What am I putting into my body? How can I get better sleep? How can I get the most out of my energy throughout the day? And like you even offer like health products there at the spa, and I appreciate it. I think I've tried so many different things there. One of my favorite things probably is the kombucha. You have like a kombucha fountain, right?
Yeah, we have kombucha on tap. It's by Coastal Craft Kombucha. They're out in Oceanside. We try to use local, you know, products when we can. So yeah, we offer kombucha on tap. We have it in cans. It's all organic. The tea that we use, we give it away complimentary. They're from Serendipity in Manhasset. And yeah, it's easy to work with the local people because you could just pick up the phone and call them, you know?
Right.
So, and we're a local business that deal with local, you know, people that come from the community. It's not an online thing, it's a local business, so.
I like that. I like that you're, you know, engaging with the community, you're engaging with other small and large business owners. Like you have, what is it? Owen? Owen Protein.
Owen. Yeah, Alana would get mad at me if I didn't say anything.
Yeah, we got to bring it up. Alana, we love you. But it's there if you like vegan protein products. I prefer vegan protein. When I had weight loss surgery, Alana, like you have to have like very dense protein after you're drinking protein shakes for a while, almost a month. And Alana like gave me so much. She like, I did not have to worry about it. I had it like, and I just appreciate her for that. But it's a great product. It didn't cause any stomach pain. It tastes good. You can find the flavor you like.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's the best. I don't drink a lot of protein powders because they kind of like upset my stomach.
Yeah.
But that one, never.
Yeah, it's a smooth experience. You got CBD products. I I just feel like it's made me more conscious, and my friends and family that have experienced it, they've become more conscious, and they're like really starting to think about like, well, what else can I do to like biohack? I guess it's kind of like a biohacking method, yeah.
Yeah, it just gives you time and space for yourself, you know, like all the distractions are gone. Like your phone, more than anything, is a distraction to you, and we're on it most of the time.
So, and you got to put it away. You cannot use your phone in there. So, actually, you know what? In the same vein of talking about the phone, you also, I noticed through my Instagram and my Facebook, you also do comedy. Hey everyone, it's your girl Sam Law of the That Sam Law Show, and I want to introduce you to our Season 2 sponsor, Nadine Morency Moss of J Moore Realty. Nadine, tell my audience about yourself.
Hi, my name is Nadine Morency Moss. I'm a real estate broker, founder of J Moore Realty since 2012, and I service Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and now Suffolk, and sometimes the city. And that's Nadine.
All right, if you want to get to know Nadine more, just follow her on Instagram or hit her up on her website.
Yeah, I do. It's fun
I
for
met
me.
you at a comedy show, actually.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like ironic. You were there celebrating. Was you celebrating your wife's
my
birthday?
birthday.
It was
My
your
birthday,
birthday,
yeah.
right? And I was like, wait, that's my friend Alana. And she was like, oh my God, we got to connect. And then shortly thereafter, I saw you like performing at like Governors. And
Yeah.
what was that experience like?
That was fun. That was, I think you came to the graduation show, right?
I don't think I got to see the graduation
No?
show, unfortunately.
So yeah, they have a class that I did there. Shout out to John Truson for throwing that together. He puts it together like at least a few times a year, and it's 8 weeks long. It was, for me, it was every Tuesday night, and I went there with a friend of mine, Corporate Mike, formerly Hip Hop Mike, but he's a good friend of mine. He took the class with me, and we went for 8 weeks in a row, and at the end of the 8 weeks, we have a graduation show. And yeah, there was 300 people in the room, and I did about 15 minutes, I think.
Wow, that's a long set.
It was a long set, but I had no concept of time, and I would say I was doing pretty good up there.
What'd you take away from that experience?
It wasn't as hard as I thought it was. It was more like it felt like I was supposed to be doing it. So I just kept doing it.
So was comedy something like you were always interested in doing, or like how did you, because I know we're young, but we're not like that young. So what made you say like, all right, I'm a small business owner, I'm gonna try comedy now too?
Comedy's always been something I was like gravitated towards since I was a young kid. My grandfather used to play like old Robin Williams tapes in the car, and like, I grew up with, watching Bill Cosby and then Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Martin. So like, there was Jim Carrey. Like, there was so many influences in my generation that like it was always something that was like, well, that if you could like stand up there and make people laugh just by talking, and like you're the only person on the show, that's like an incredible thing.
Absolutely.
So like, I was always fascinated by it, and I started working at Governors while my wife was sick, actually, and that was one of the second jobs that I had, and I got a chance to really like study how comedy works, the language of comedy, and it was fascinating to me, and I was like, I could do that.
I think it's really cool is that a lot of comics, they don't talk about what training they go through or even going through training. Some have taken improv classes. I'm not a comic, but I've taken improv. I've done theater. I've never done like a pure like comedy class. I would love to learn how to craft a joke. Like that's a cool skill to have.
It's hard. It's not easy, and but it is fun. Like once you like start like writing it out, and then you get a chance to do it in front of an audience. Like and it works. Like there's nothing like it. Like that feeling is unlike any other feeling. But like I could say for me, and I think a lot of comics, like once you go through different experiences in life, like traumatic experiences, or you're able to kind of find an avenue to help you cope with it,
right,
and help you deal with it. So comedy is like a therapy, just like rap and hip hop. Like it's not like you're endorsing drugs and violence, and it speaks to.
It's a way to tell your story.
Yeah, it's a language that you speak that's true to you, as long as you're true to yourself.
Right.
So like it's an art form.
Right.
Just like anything else. Like I love doing it. That's the only reason I do it. You don't make any money doing it.
Well, listen, we're not going to say that. We're going to manifest the dollars, and you're going to make some money. You're going to figure out how to blend wellness and comedy together, because like you said, it is a form of therapy. And I think if anyone's going to figure out that that algorithm, it's going to be you.
I'm trying. It's
No,
fun.
you're on your way. You're on your way.
It's fun.
So we're going to do something. We're going to do like a quick game, all right? I'm going to name a comic that's put out a movie, and we're gonna do like 5, and you're gonna say like your favorite movie that comes to mind by that comic, and we're gonna start with, since you mentioned him already, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Oh man, Miss Doubtfire.
Ooh, I like that. Hey, all right, Jim Carrey.
Ace Ventura.
Okay, Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker was the one that didn't curse, right?
Does he? No, he curses. I think that's Will Smith that doesn't curse.
No, Chris Tucker didn't curse for a while, but
That's true.
Jamie, who's the guy that he used to?
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Jackie Chan.
Rush Hour. Hey, okay, so we're up to
Rush
3,
Hour,
right?
Yeah.
I gotta pick somebody crazy. I gotta really like hit those chops. All right, so maybe this isn't gonna be a movie, but maybe. Oh, actually, you know what? Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was like in so many different things that I appreciate. Coming to America.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna throw you for a loop with this one. You may not have an answer. Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. Why'd you do that? See?
I'm a
Time's
lady.
up. All right. No, Whoopi Goldberg. Wasn't she in like I don't know.
My favorite, all right, so I'll tell you my favorite, because she's one of my favorites, is actually it's Karina. It's not really that funny, but I felt like it showed her range. So yeah.
I like Whoopi.
Nah, she's good. You know what? She's like one of like the queens of stand-up. It was like her, Billy Crystal, and who was the other one? Well, she was married to Ted Danson, which was really weird. But she was out there. She's still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, she's on The View, right?
Yeah, she's on The View. Yeah, you could have said that, The View. So
I
we'll add that.
The View, but I know she's on The View.
It's a class. That show's been going
She
forever.
doesn't have to do anything after that.
No, she doesn't have to
She's
do
good.
anything at all. You want to know a fun fact about her? She does not fly. She only takes like the train or a bus
That's
or a
impressive.
car everywhere. So how far can you go? If you only...
She went really far.
Yeah. She's like Elvis. Like she didn't leave the United States, but maybe she has. Maybe she's gone by boat. I don't know. But listen, James, thank you so much for taking the time out with us on the That's Sam Law Show.
Thank you for having me.
What can we expect next from you?
Well, you could always find me at Floatopia. It's in Dix Hills on Jericho Turnpike. I'm there every day. But I'm producing shows locally. I run an open mic at Island Cava in Massapequa. Shout out to them. So if you're funny, you want to come do a few minutes, definitely come down. I'm producing shows. We have a sold out show at Vittorio's in Amityville.
In Amityville, right?
Actually, yep. So that's sold out, but look for another one. But I'm also having a birthday show at Island Cava, comedy show featuring a few of my favorite comedians from Long Island. So.
Nice. All right. We're going to have to pop through. James, thank you so much for taking a moment out with our audience. Thank you to my audience for watching the That Sam Law Show. Thank you to our sponsors, the Bell Law Group, J Moore Realty, and Designs by Dr. G.